weekend in Ontario for the Edmonton Oilers. They fall this evening 5-3 to the Ottawa Senators. 4 unanswered goals from Ottawa sinks the Oil on what should have been a pleasant day in Oil Country. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oil Stream post-game show. Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev with you. Matt Kassian, our game analyst, will be joining us shortly to break everything down. And yeah, they blew their opportunity against Ottawa to pick up a couple points, salvage a weekend in Ontario, bounce back after a bad performance yesterday in Toronto. It was looking good for a while. They barely let Ottawa touch the puck in the third period. However, when they did let Ottawa touch the puck, Ottawa scored. 5-3 is your final. You could text us 780-218-9999. Let us know your thoughts. It is not pleasant. I looked really quickly. People are mad, and rightly so. And if you're watching, hit the thumbs up button on your way in, regardless of the result. And get into the nasty chat. Share your frustrations and thoughts on the game. We're going to read as many as we can as we move through the show. And my goodness, Gazzola, YouTube Trev, and Cass getting ready to go through what was a bad night in Oil Country at the end of the day. All right, let's start with the scoring summary and the game stats for this one. In the first period, Adam Henrique gets on the board for the Oilers to break the ice, just .349 in his second as an Oiler, 20th of the season, on a really nice play by Matthias Ekholm. Evan Bouchard, the second assist there, 1-0 Edmonton. Then, less than 2 minutes later, Jacob Chychrun scores his 10th on a power play off a face-off. Batherson and Stützle with the assist, 1-1 after 1 in the second period. Here's where you're like, okay, they're doing it. That's better. Leon Draisaitl, 37th goal of the season. Really nice goal, obviously from an impossible angle where we've seen him score a couple of times in the past. That one coming on the power play. Draisaitl's 37th from Bouchard. And McDavid, give McDavid 90 assists at that point. 2-1 Oilers at 1:38 of the second period. Zach Hyman would add to the lead at 3:34, his 50th of the year. Well done, Zach Hyman. Absolutely tremendous accomplishment on the power play from McDavid. Bouchard, the secondary assist. Did you see? I'm going to give a shout out to our dear friend, producer extraordinaire Connor Halley, who pointed out that when McDavid went to pick up the puck on Hyman's 50th, it was linesman number 50 who gave it to him, which is interesting. The universe works in weird ways, does it not? Hyman, 50th, and then the celebration. I think Leon Draisaitl was happier than Zach Hyman for him to hit his 50th. You love to see it. That speaks volumes to how much the team appreciates Hyman, and certainly a phenomenal accomplishment for the Oilers winger. That's the peak of the night for Edmonton, as it was all downhill from there. Tim Stützle, busted coverage. There was a pinch by Cody Ceci. He went down low, activated. I said to YouTube Trev, I didn't like what happened. Where was Ceci on that one? But he did his job. It was Warren Fogle coming back, trying to fill in for Ceci. He gets burnt by Stützle. Nice pass by Matthew Joseph. Brandstrom, the other assist. And Stützle buries it on a partial break past Calvin Pickard at 4:48. 3-2 Edmonton at that point. Then at 16:30, the Oilers on the PK. Drake Batherson, his 25th of the year from Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle to tie things up going into the third. You're going, well, Ottawa has 12 shots through 2 periods. Somehow has 3 goals because Edmonton was so spotty defensively and just let Ottawa get these grade A opportunities on Pickard and buried them. You're like, Edmonton's going to just cruise in the third period. No, that's not what happened, because it would be Ottawa scoring the next 2 goals. Jacob Chychrun late at 16:57 on the power play. The Oilers PK, bad tonight. Bad. 3 guys overcommit to one side. Chychrun, almost like his first goal, just buries the one-timer uncontested in front of Calvin Pickard. I don't care how big, strong, fast you are as a goalie. When you got the puck going across to a guy who can absolutely bomb it on the one-timer like Chychrun did earlier and did it again there on his 11th, second of the night from Batherson and Tkachuk, you're just asking for trouble. Terrible coverage on the PK off another face-off for 3 Sens at that point. Edmonton pulls the goalie. Parker Kelly buries into the empty net. Claude Giroux, the helper on that one. 5-3 is your final. That goal coming at 19:22. Edmonton terrible defensively on this night. Shots on goal, 36-16 in favor of the Oilers. Face-off percentage, 53.7% to 46.3% in favor of the Oilers. The power play goes 2 for 3. The PK, 1 for 4. Atrocious. Unacceptable. Hits, 26-17 in favor of Ottawa. Block shots, 13-9 in favor of Ottawa. Giveaways, 17 for Ottawa, 9 for Edmonton. Takeaways, 15 for the Sens to Edmonton's 10. At the end of the night, the Oilers come away with no points, blow a 2-goal lead, sloppy in their own zone, cannot convert on Jonas Korpisalo, and walk away from Ontario without a single point. Embarrassed about their performance on Saturday. Probably should be disappointed and embarrassed with their D-zone play tonight. And then now they have to go face Winnipeg on Tuesday, 6 o'clock start. We're on the air at 4:30, by the way, and try to mop this up and put an end to a 2-game slide. Winnipeg, by the way, losers of 3 in a row. All right. Keep those texts coming in. 780-218-9999. Trev, is Cass ready to go? Not yet? Okay, we're going to wait for Cass before we get to him, obviously, and then I'll get to some texts as we roll through the evening. Get those in there. Let it all out. Let it all out. You've got the... Just show people what you look like right now. You're very upset.
Oh, gosh. Here, wait.
You were biting your lip. That was the
look
one
of these.
There. Yeah.
One of these. Can you see it?
I see it.
Not happy, Tommy.
Not happy. Rightly so.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I just...
that was what they did there today was bad.
It really was.
From the neutral zone to the offensive zone. Very nice. They couldn't finish. They had 3 goals. They should win, in theory, against an Ottawa team that isn't very good. But the opportunities they allowed Ottawa to have were too juicy. Too juicy.
It's like playing down to their opponents. Like, I don't get it. Like
they were way better than Ottawa, except in their own zone. They were like, here, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just
blunders.
Oh, you
want to shoot on them? Yeah, sure.
I don't get it. It's like, I don't know. Just terrible reads. I don't get it. It's, I can't wait. Can't wait to hear what Cass has to say.
Ryan from Sask, he gets us started here. Ryan says, evening, guys. I've got to shout out Hyman. So easy to hope for. Oilers PK, horrendous. Yes, sir, Ryan. 2 D-men on same side of the ice for 2 of the goals. Nurse needs to get his game in order or the Oilers don't make it out of the first round. Blame Pickard all you want, but all those goals were a result of poor decisions with and without the puck. Better figure it out quick. Huge games Tuesday and Thursday. Ryan from Sask. Yeah, I'm sure there are people blaming Pickard. I feel like we'll probably see some of those comments. I'm not. I would like to see more saves. I would also like to see Pickard helped out a bit. Awful defensive zone today for the Oilers. Awful. Grumpy Cat says, listening to the game, Bob is salty after the bad second call on Desharnais. I'm here for it. It was a bad call. But then there was a soft makeup call that the Oilers got an opportunity on later on. They even those up. You know how it is. But Matt from Okotoks chiming in here with this one says, this is not a Stanley Cup contender. It's just not. They're a good team, exciting to watch. Sometimes painful to watch the majority of the time. They won't be any sort of threat in the playoffs. It's not about 1 or 2 games. It's about the last 20-ish. Lots of, well, at least they got the 2 points comments after a lot of them. I really hope for us fans that whoever takes over this team learns how to build a real team from line 1 to line 4. Thank you for the text, Matt from Okotoks. I don't completely agree with a lot of what Matt from Okotoks says in that comment. Matt from Okotoks usually pretty good. Frustrated, obviously. They are, I'll agree with this. They're a good team. They are exciting to watch. I do think they are a legit contender. Good teams lose to bad teams. Columbus beat Vegas. Winnipeg's dropped 3 in a row. It happens, but you can't excuse defensive performances like that. That was crap. That was terrible in their own zone. Like I said, they didn't let Ottawa touch the puck in the third period. But when they did, or when Ottawa finally got it, Clear lane. Everybody go to one side. Leave a guy open. All it takes is one pass to beat us. Boom, boom, in the back of the net. That seemed to be the mentality. It was brutal. In terms of who takes over this team, good line, build a team one line, or line 1 to 4. They have a really good team on paper. And when this team is engaged and everybody's going, they're a very good team. They're one of the best. Simple as that. What we saw tonight, in their own zone, awful. I will reiterate that all night long. This weekend, awful for the Edmonton Oilers. I'll also add that. Jeff texting in says they can score 50 and get 100 apples all they want, but until this team figures out how to legitimately defend, we are kidding ourselves if we believe that they are a true contender. On the fourth Ottawa goal, 3 Oilers defenders went to the same player, leaving Chychrun wide open. Laughable and embarrassing. Jeff, thank you. You saw it too. Can't happen. On the first Chychrun goal, by the way, Desharnais goes down like this. If you're not watching, I'm doing the stick wave thing. Nice saucer pass. Chychrun absolutely just buries it. That doesn't do anything. Why are you going down? You're 6'7". Come on. Jeff, you nailed it with that text. Thank you. Peter not happy. Quotes Dustin Nielsen, says, the Oilers just aren't losing to Ottawa tomorrow. Has he not been watching the Oilers his whole life? Draisaitl, pathetic tonight, says Peter. Bad Billy chiming in, says, unbelievable, Tommy. Bouchard 2 games in a row. He has been terrible defensively. That game-winning goal is all on him. He screws up on the boards, and the Viking takes a penalty because he's covering for him. Unbelievable. They lose this game. D lets us down overall again. Out goalie to boot. No way they should have lost this game. That's from Bad Billy. Get in here, Trev. What say you?
I kind of agree with what a lot of people are saying tonight, Tommy. It's just a disappointing loss. Like, I thought yesterday's performance, it was bad, but like I told you before the game, I was like, no, like they should be pumped.
Ottawa sucks.
They do, and
they're
the fact
a bad
that
team.
You're up 2-0 against a non-playoff team, one of the worst teams in the league. It should be. I mean, it really should be. They had it. It was their game to win, and they just, I don't know. They're doing what they've been doing, and just complete blunders in their own end. Like, I don't know, it's so flaky. Like, sometimes like they can really hold it down, like during the 16 game heater, like at times, they can play really good defense, right?
Yes.
And I don't know I don't know what it is. Some games just like today, like it's just
here. It's
all
right here.
Yeah, like
always is. Whenever they're good, they're sharp up here. When they're bad, like what we saw in their zone today, stupid plays in their own zone, not thinking.
Yeah. So
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt again.
No, you're good, man. It's just
I'm getting salty.
Yeah, like I'm quite ticked. It's just, I don't know, the defense, whether it's a Desharnais or CC. I see a lot of people are saying CC needs to go, so bring Stetcher in, and I don't know. I'm still on the side of Desharnais needs to go out, and I'd like to see Stetcher in.
You were very adamant about that Desharnais thing today. You were saying it while we were watching. You said it in the first period tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. He's really just not getting it done for me, Tommy. So
he had a bad day. He had a bad game.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And it's just, I mean, as far as offense goes, like McLeod, like was he there today? Like they were just again.
They didn't let Ottawa touch the puck.
And yeah, and like that's why it's frustrating. Like they should have had this one. They really should have. So I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words right now. It's just so disappointing, Tommy. I don't know what to say.
Thank you. 780-218-9999. Tom Gazzola, YouTube Trev with you. We're waiting for Matt Kassian to join in. I'm sure he's not too pleased either, as the Oilers fall 5-3 somehow to the Ottawa Senators. Oh, I know why. They're dog crap in their own zone. 4 goals on 15 shots, says Harry Manback. Sick. Yep. I'm not putting it on Pickard. The chances that he had to face, like the 2 Chychrun goals were one-timers, and Chychrun absolutely pummeled those pucks. Stützle Stützle's one of Ottawa's best players. We know how good he is. You're letting him have a partial break? What do you think's going to happen? Stützle scores goals like that on the best goalies in the league, not just Calvin Pickard. You can't let him walk in like that. Awful. Awful. This text says, come on, YTT, rip those clowns to shreds. What a frustrating game. I don't understand why Bouchard can't sit a game or two. He's still young, only been in the league for a couple of years. It's not like he's a 12-year vet or something. Brutal. CB radio guy texting in says, that's some bad hockey right there. I just want to reiterate, bad D-zone hockey. That was terrible in their own zone. Dirty Curdy. Oh, I need this one. I want to hear what Dirty Curdy has to say. I like his breakdowns. He says, goaltending in D is sagging. Offense didn't come very. Let's hear all the excuses about, they dominated in puck luck, back-to-backs, blah, 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 blah. PK was trash. Win a damn draw. Good teams find a way in these games. Is this team really better after the deadline? We seem to look worse in almost all facets. Dirty Curdy. Harsh criticism tonight. I like it. All right, here we go. EA not happy. EA says, I texted it yesterday, Tommy. Ottawa will give this team fits. Sure enough, it was more than fits. Two very different ways to lose, but I'm not sure which is more frustrating. PK didn't exist this weekend. Goaltending didn't exist this weekend. Defense, as usual, didn't exist this weekend. RNH, completely gone. CC needs to sit a few. The regression we're seeing and playing down at Columbus, Buffalo ×2, Montreal, and now Ottawa is a completely unacceptable thing. There's clearly something wrong in the locker room. There needs to be accountability. There's no way the Oilers beat the Jets on Tuesday. EA, Jets have lost 3 in a row. Things are not so rosy right now in Winnipeg. And Edmonton did crush Buffalo in the third period the other night. Not great in the first 2 periods. Cass is good to go. Let's get him on here. There he is. There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Cass, things were looking great. Your wife put up an absolutely adorable post of you with your daughter. Looked like it was a nice third period as she was falling asleep beside you. I was like, that's a lovely Sunday. And then the Oilers go and they ruin it, Cass. They ruin it. I said in 2 zones, they were pretty damn good all night long. Neutral zone, D, or offensive zone. D zone, forget about it. Terrible. What say you? He's muted. He's muted. No, he's not muted. Did we break it? All right, we'll get Cass back. I got more text to get to. Chase says, why is Pickard still here? The NHL has apparently added a new rule that you are not allowed to defend. Chase, if that's going back, Chase, to the penalty on Ekholm, he did get his hand in there. That was a hold. All right, Cass is ready to go. Did you lose him? Did you get rid of Cass? He just left. Oh, he'll be back. Pissed off Graham says, embarrassing loss. Brutal. Congrats, Hyman, though. Yes. Pissed off Graham. Still giving love to Hyman. Understandably so. Rightly so, I should say, too. All right, Cass is back. Let's get him on here. There you are, Cass. Floor is yours. Let's see him. There he is.
How about now?
You're good, buddy. Go for it.
Go. I actually didn't mute myself, despite.
I know.
Despite what normally happens. I said, how about that penalty kill? More than even playing in the D zone.
Awful.
I mean, you give up 16 shots. You give up 16 shots total. Like you didn't give up a lot of shots, but you get absolutely crushed ultimately on special teams where you take 4 penalties and Ottawa goes 75% on their power play. Tommy, that's not a recipe to win a hockey game.
No. Cass,
no.
What about... All right. What about those that are saying goaltending, Pickard, this and that? I said it. I don't think that was Pickard's fault. When you've got one-timers coming from like 10 feet out.
And he wasn't great. He wasn't great. Like,
which one of those should he have had?
Well, you'd like him to save one.
Maybe the Stützle one. But Stützle.
Maybe the Stützle. Yeah, maybe the Stützle one. I mean, it's not all on him. I mean, you'd like him to maybe rob somebody.
Sure.
I mean, that's a tall order. And again, the team didn't help. And 5-on-5 or 5-on-4, they gave up way too much all through the seams and everywhere. It was just Tommy. It went from looking like it was pretty good to giving up leads to being bad on the penalty kill to. I mean, this is probably going to leave a little bit more of a sour taste in the mouths of the Oilers and the Oilers fans and ourselves than the game against Toronto yesterday.
To the people, Cass, that are like, this team's not a contender, it's not a contender, what the hell's going on? Are you with them on the panic button?
No.
All right.
No,
Why?
I'm not with them on the panic button. I mean, just look at the wild card standings where, you still have a game in hand on LA. You're at 88 points. You're not going to catch the Vancouver Canucks at this point, not even close. But you're still solidly in second, most likely third place in the division. Very unlikely that Las Vegas catches up to you. So are they still a contender? Yeah, they're absolutely still a contender. No need to hit the panic button. And for all those people that are like, ooh, well, they dropped to the level of the team that they're playing. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're all good teams in the playoffs.
Very true.
We don't have to worry about that.
I just went back and watched the Batherson goal. They just let Batherson walk in, by the way. Just let him walk in. I don't know what Nurse was doing there. I don't know what the second forward was doing there.
Yeah, Nurse leaving his feet is a problem. I mean, that's been a problem for a while, and I can't stand when defensemen leave their feet all the time. Like it just drives me nuts.
Dayharn
drives me nuts.
Brutal night.
Yeah. Yep. He had a tough one too. Yep.
All right, 780-218-9999. Tom Gazzola, Matt Kassian, and YouTube Trev with you. Edmonton falls 5-3 to the Ottawa Senators. Pissed away 2 more points. This weekend as a whole, Cass, awful.
Yep.
Awful. How would you sum up this weekend for the
I mean, isn't that a good word? Awful.
Stunk it out.
Stinky, poor. It was a double flush yesterday. Do you have to triple flush today? I mean, but I don't want them to. I mean, I want you to.
This one you savor.
Yeah.
For a lack of
I want him to feel it. Right? Like I want him to feel it.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was stinky, Tommy. It means it was a horrible, bad, awful, atrocious weekend.
Yeah.
And not good for building momentum, not good for confidence, not good just in any regards. I mean, so it's not no panicking, no freaking out, no hitting the panic button, but Tommy, not good enough.
Oof, nowhere near good enough. Any solace in the fact that they had played well in 2 zones and dominated the shot clock, or is it totally washed away with the defensive zone? You
could call it a solace, and that it's good. They did some, as you said, they did some good things in the offensive zone. They did some good things in the neutral zone. Sure, so solace, and they did a lot of things. Yeah, they only gave up 16 shots on goal, but you lost to the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah,
and that's back-to-back losses because you lost yesterday to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, overall, I mean, it's just not good enough, Tommy.
No, nowhere near good enough. All right, let's go to KL. KL says, "Hey guys. The Oilers dominated that game, lost because their PK decided to crap the bed tonight. Their sticks are in the wrong position and let the seam pass through again and again. This was the problem last time when their PK was porous. It seems like they always forget the lessons that they learn because it's always the same problems that creep back in, shooting themselves in the foot." I would add to what KL said, Cass, and I want to know what you think. Probably sticks not being in the right lanes, but just not recognizing or lack of awareness of where they are on the ice too.
Yeah.
Key parts of the D zone.
Bad reads.
Guys.
Yeah. Three guys. Puck watching again. Just kind of getting mesmerized by wherever the puck is and not shoulder checking. I would say that would be an issue as well. Yeah.
Non-existent. That is brutal. Conroe, Texas, check it. It says, "Yeesh, horrible effort from the goalie. Backup goalie will be trending tonight in Oilerland." Tommy, is that sweater from the Mayor Tommy Shanks collection? No, I bought this somewhere in the States. I can't remember where, but it's very comfortable. It's Sunday. It was supposed to be a nice Sunday. It was looking good, Cass. On a positive note, Zach Hyman gets 50. What can you say about the player he has become and the person that he is.
Yeah, well, hey, it's not like I know him personally as a friend, but by all accounts, just a great guy and a great teammate. Loves writing kids' books, which is cool.
Yeah,
I've never done that, but I mean, for the price you're paying, the player you're getting for the Edmonton Oilers, I mean, we've talked about him often, and I've said over and over again, I'll say it again. Don't try to model your game after Connor McDavid. Model it after Zach Hyman. I love this story the other day that they told about him having the nickname Shaq, Shaq Hyman, because he's always around the paint.
Yep.
And that's fantastic. And that's exactly what he does. He scores goals in tight and finds a way. And hey, he's put up 50. Not very many guys have ever done that. Pretty amazing. He's obviously going to remain incredibly important down the stretch run here for the Oilers.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Zach Hyman scoring his 50th goal of the season. Gets it done. We thought he would, and he comes through. And unfortunately, the team does not pick up the win in the process. But Hyman, a 50-goal scorer for the first time in his career, absolutely tremendous. Second oldest all time to Edmonton product, Johnny Busick. How about that one, Cass?
Yeah.
To score his first 50-goal season.
Pretty crazy.
That is pretty neat. That is pretty neat. All right, let's go to the Liquid Beaver. He says when Draisaitl's career is over in the NHL, he can moonlight as a baker. He can pump out turnovers like nobody I have seen. He needs to stop being so cute. That was from the Liquid Beaver. Let's go to Janias. Janias says, ouch, more embarrassing than the Toronto game, simply put. Another one says, how does Stetcher not draw in tonight? CC with the sub 10% goal share. Don't want to pile on the guy, but wow. Cass Stetcher, I thought Desharnais had a terrible night.
He had a tough one.
Yeah.
Yep, he had a tough one, and that's the guy that probably comes out. Again, I know people just they love to run people out of town. They ran Eberle out of town. They ran Puljujarvi. Well, maybe Puljujarvi ran himself out of town, but Petrie ran out of town, and they want to run Cody Ceci out of town too. So I get that they're upset. Desharnais had a tough one, and that hurts your penalty kill too.
Yep.
Right. Like, and he probably is the guy. If you're going to take somebody out, he's probably the guy that comes out. Really.
I would think
and
so.
Rightfully so,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Just looking at the stat line, Kulak and Ceci are the only defensemen with a minus tonight. Of course, the PK going 1 for 4, which was awful. Desharnais on for a couple of those. Cass, you said you don't like when Nurse lies down. I don't like when D-men get off their feet unless they're going in to commit to blocking a shot on the PK. And Desharnais at the side of the net went down so early on that first Chychrun goal, and then the nice saucer. These guys still have talent. Like,
and he's got like 8 feet of reach. So that's where I just hate the going down. I'm like, you just get your stick out there, and even if you're just going down to one knee, like I don't know, I don't like it. Never have liked it. Will continue to not like it. It's just I don't like when guys go down. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to me at all.
Colorado Rusty in with this one says 4 games in a row without a complete game. Tommy, this team needs to wake up. Terrible.
Yeah, that's
defensive.
fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair to say they haven't had a complete game in 4 games. I think that's a reasonable and fair critique of how they're playing and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is when you know it's bad. Louis texted says call up Jack Campbell from Louis and Eden. Oh boy.
We talked about that already. It's the not the goaltending that was the issue tonight. So, but I get where you're frustrated.
Are you doing your Kermit the Frog meme right there? Is that what you're doing? I like that.
I wasn't trying to, but
that was well executed. I will say. All right, let's go. Cass, you know what? We're going to go inside the Oilers locker room. Let's hear what they have to say. I saw Trev has it all queued up and ready to go. Trev, where are we going first?
Yeah, one of the bright spots today, Zach Hyman. He got his 50th of the season, so let's go to him.
36-16, you guys seemingly had the puck all night. What was the difference that led to a 5-3 loss?
It just felt like they capitalized on our mistakes. They were really good on the power play, obviously, there. They had 2 really nice goals. It felt like, when we gave up the chances, they were grade A chances, so it was tough on picks. Just one of those games where, the chances you gave, hurt you.
Did the game last night leave a dent? Because there was some big mistakes last night, less of them tonight, but still, when you made one tonight, it was in your net.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think every game's a new game. You try to turn the page, you try to regroup, reset. Thought we got off to a good start actually last night, and then I think again they capitalized on mistakes, and then tonight again I thought we were in a good spot in the game, obviously, and then they capitalized and made us pay on our mistakes.
You've been waiting for this 50th. We've all thought it would come eventually. What was it like? What's it like watching the 50th puck go in an NHL goal?
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a special moment, obviously, for me and my family. I mean, I think I've said it before, but when you become an NHL player, there's so many people who have sacrificed and who've driven you to rinks. My parents and my uncles, like everybody chips in to help you when you get when you're a professional athlete at this level. There's so many people who sacrifice. My wife, watching kids by herself, half the time, and yeah, they all. And I think it means just as much or more to them just to see you have success. And obviously, this is a milestone that I don't think anybody thought I would ever get to when I started my career. And I mean, I got to it, which is pretty crazy, honestly, and had a lot of help, especially play with a couple special players, especially Connor, and I wouldn't be in this position without him, and I thought it was fitting that he was able to set me up for it.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'd be a 50-goal scorer, like before about 3 months ago?
I don't. I try not to think, long term. Like, my career's kind of always been, let's just achieve what's ahead of us, right? When I was in university, I had 2 goals my first year. I was drafted, and nobody thought I was going to be, I was just a draft pick. I was no longer a prospect, and everybody kind of wrote me off. And then I started to score again, and then all of a sudden, I was an NHL player, but I was an NHL player who had no hands and was a grinder playing next to, Austin and Willie, and that was kind of the narrative. And then I scored 10 goals, and then 15, and then 20, and then he's an okay player. He just plays with good players, and then and I still have that narrative, which is great, and it's awesome. Like I think it just shows like you just hit little milestones along the way, and you just block out outside noise, and you work really hard, and you have a positive attitude, and good things happen.
It was a special moment for you, but also a very special moment for this group. What did your teammates' reaction mean to you?
Yeah, it was special. Leon was right next to me, and just saw the excitement on his face. He knows, how hard it is to get there, and for him to be on the ice and Connor, 250 goal scorers, and to join them. And then I got to the bench. Perry gave me a big hug and welcomed me to the club too, which was just special. Like to have teammates that care that much about you, to share in your milestones and your successes. Yeah, it's what the game's all about. It's really a family in here, and everybody cares about each other.
Do you have any family make the trip up here, knowing you were 1 goal away to watch? Or?
Oh, my cousin Andy. So he's Gian, you'd know him. Yeah, he comes to a bunch of games. My family was back at home. They were at the game yesterday. But cousin Andy took the train up, made the trip, and he's here, so I'll go see him after.
There you go. There's the 50-goal man, Zach Hyman. Nice to hear him sum it up the way he did, Cass. Like, I know, listen, we're going to get back to the saltiness and the bitterness and the anger and frustration, but we're going to take a quick minute to acknowledge and appreciate what Hyman has been able to do. I love how he summed up and recognized what has been said about him and how he continues to persevere. I thought he was crying a little bit on the bench, and you know what? I'm here for it. I didn't mind that at all.
No, of course. Hey, show some emotion. That's fine. You achieved something that, less than a few people have ever done in the history of the NHL. And what people certainly felt he would never do. Or, So, get emotional. Get teared up and feel that. It's a pretty cool moment. Very special moment for, again, a guy that's incredibly well liked by his teammates, does a lot in the community, and is just seems like a stand-up dude. So, yeah, it's I'm here for it, Tommy.
Yep. Very thoughtful, always sharp and articulate. Zach Hyman also pointed out that Ottawa capitalized on Edmonton's mistakes and had a good power play because Edmonton's PK was crap tonight. And Barbershop Window via the Nasty Chat says, why do you guys keep saying it's not the goaltending? And I replied to Barbershop Window in the Nasty Chat, it's because the 4 or 5 guys in front of both goalies this weekend were an absolute train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how in your right mind you think that Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard, Dominic Hasek, Patrick Waugh, Glenn Hall, Gump Wars, Johnny Bow, I don't care who it is going to save the tap-in on the back door.
No,
because
nobody's
going
to save the tap-in on the back door.
I don't know
No
how
one's going to save the back end.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know how in your right mind you're going to blame the goalie because you've got a 6'7" guy laying on the ice in front of a skill guy who makes a beautiful saucer pass to a defenseman who creeps in, and your other guys that are on the PK don't even see the guy creep in and let him just uncork one from 10 feet out. Oh, why didn't you have that one, Calvin? Why didn't you have it, Calvin, twice tonight? I'll be completely sarcastic if you can't tell right now. That's why we're not putting it on the goalie. I just talked about the Drake Batherson goal. One guy overcommits to the wall on the PK. Up high. Squeaks out to Batherson. 2 Oilers back off and let him walk in. He lasers one. Calvin Pickard, why didn't you have that one?
Not his fault.
What a sieve. Come on, you guys. Give your head a shake.
It's not his fault. I agree, Tommy.
Jeez.
I love how fired up you are right now, too, by the way.
Well, Oiler fans are smarter than that. I know they are. I grew up here. You grew up here.
They're
smarter than that.
They
Come on,
are.
Guys. And Barbershop Window, I'm not picking on you. You just brought it up. You're one of the many. I digress. And I don't care if people don't agree. That's fine. That's why we do these shows. If we're going to agree on everything, it's not fun.
Yep.
All right. Cass, do you want to add anything, or are we going to go to the next player? It's up to you.
Let's go to the next player.
All right. Sounds good.
From 150 goal scorer to another, here is Connor McDavid.
Assessment after a game where you guys held the puck basically all night, but still Ottawa finds a way to take this one.
Yeah, I thought they got timely scoring. Obviously felt like we were the better team and had the better chance. Had the puck most of the night, but ultimately, they're a skilled team. They capitalized on mistakes, and they did that tonight.
On paper, that power play marker by Drake Batherson followed a questionable call on the ice. What were your thoughts on the call?
Hey, listen, it's it's a hard job that the refs have to do out there. The game's fast. They see things in real time. They don't get to go back and look at things. That's just the way it is, and those calls are going to happen both ways. And like I said, they capitalized on mistakes, and they did that there.
Yeah, when you don't capitalize yourself, you leave yourself open to being victim of maybe a call you didn't like, right?
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case when you have 36 shots to 16. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, we would have liked to have put them away, whenever we had the chance. But, when it's 3-1 there, they find a way to get it to 3-2 right away. And, and then obviously you're playing a game with fire when you're letting a skilled team kind of hang around like that. And, their goalie played well, and they did a good job of collapsing in front of the net and making it hard on us. And, credit to them.
Zach Hyman gets his 50th on a goal that probably sums up the way, the other 49 went in too. Just your thoughts on the team reacting and how it went for you.
Yeah, happy for him, obviously. A cool story to, from a guy that, was supposed to just be a checker in this league, and not sure if he would ever make it to this league. He worked his way. He's worked for everything he's gotten, and now he's a 50-goal scorer at the age of 31. It's pretty impressive. It's been cool to see and cool to kind of witness his transition from that to a goal scorer, and everyone's really happy for him.
The way he reacted, everyone on the ice reacted. Does that kind of sum up how he's viewed in this room?
Yeah, everybody loves Hy, obviously. He's a guy that brings it each and every day, brings energy, brings positivity, brings life into our room, and obviously we're happy for him.
All right, there's Connor McDavid. A couple of assists from McDavid en route to 100. to join Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky as the only players in NHL history to do so. He will quite likely be the fourth, and obviously not happy with the overall performance of his team. And then some high praise for Zach Hyman, rightly so. Okay, Cass, I'm going to get to this one from Shaggy in St. Albert. Says, like I said last night, they're going to lose to the Sens. Avs came back from 4 goals down and won. That's what championship teams do. The fraud Oilers find a way to grab defeat from the jaws of victory against an inferior opponent. Are you and Cass going to be apologists for the Oilers yet again? Oilers show complacency again after taking a 3-1 lead. Oilers will lose in Game 7 of the first round against LA in Los Angeles because they're still falling to third in the division. Keep telling you guys that this is a pattern with Oilers of playing down to inferior opponents. Cass said a win is a win when they struggled against Habs and Sabres. That's from Shaggy in St. Albert. Cass, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be big apologists here. Yeah, a win is a win when they played poorly. They just lost 2 in a row where they didn't play well and they didn't find a way to win
this weekend.
Yeah, they played horrible. And they didn't play horrible the whole game against Buffalo, but they didn't play horrible the whole game tonight. Like, it wasn't like they were atrocious bad from beginning to end. Now, the Toronto game, I think they were bad for the first 2 periods.
Yes.
Which translated into a loss. Today, they weren't bad, horrible, awful. I mean, they gave up 16 shots. Their penalty kill absolutely screwed them and let them down. Yep. But it's not, as you pointed out, in quite emphatically with your tone. Yeah, they did it, and they did it while doing foolish things and doing it very, very poorly. So I'm not going to be a huge apologist for this team and how they're playing over the last 4 games. If we sum up the last chunk of time, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. There is still time before the playoffs, and I'm not panicking. I'm not hitting the panic button. I don't think you are either, Tom, but no. I think it's okay to be frustrated with this one.
Of course. Absolutely. If you're wondering, the Jets have dropped their last 3. They lost 4-1 to New Jersey. They lost 6-3 to the Islanders, and then today they lost 3-0 to the Capitals. So not exactly juggernauts in their own right, and we think that Winnipeg is still a contender. We think that Winnipeg will probably be able to put together a deep playoff run. So the Oilers are not immune to losing to crappy teams, and they're not the only ones that can do it. Some of the best lay a couple of eggs, and Edmonton certainly did that this weekend. We're not going to let them off the hook for that. Shaggy from St. Albert. As always, thank you for the text. I like it. It gets us going. I just wanted to have a nice Sunday, Cass.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have a nice Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what? I
think we all did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. All right. Adam from Lloyd says, Tommy Stetcher played great his last game. How did you come back with the same D after Leafs game on back-to-backs? Nobby running into some coaching challenges lately. And this has popped up a little bit. On the pregame show, Cass, a couple of people, I think it was Coach Mike. If I'm mistaken, Coach Mike, I apologize, but asked why Knobloch isn't as consistent with the lines and there's a shuffling going on. I know Stetcher played great, and I kind of expected him to play today. I don't know if it was going to be in for Desharnais, in for CC, one or the other, whatever. I kind of thought he'd be back in there because what happened last night wasn't good. You switch things up, get fresh legs in. All we saw is Evander Kane come out. Maintenance day, quote unquote, according to Chris Knobloch, and Derek Ryan goes in. Should be enough to take care of the lowly Senators. Clearly isn't. But what would you say about the Stetcher going in for somebody and not playing this weekend?
Well, he's the easy guy to take out, and he's the guy that should come out. So again, I would have zero problem with Desharnais coming back out. He had a horrible game today.
Yeah,
he didn't play very well. But like, this is not like you're sitting a top 2 guy for Desharnais and CC here. So just, I understand you're frustrated. Give it a rest.
I like this one from Big Uke via the text line 780-218-9999. It's salty tonight. You better believe it. Big Uke says, holy crow. The doctors of Edmonton are going to be too busy dealing with broken ankles because of all the people in the nasty chat who are jumping off of the bandwagon. 2 bad games Easy things to fix, says Big U. God, it's just as tough to watch the chat as it is these bad games. Wow, says Big Uke. Randy says, what happened to guaranteed win night, especially after getting embarrassed last night? Were more guys playing in their hometown and nervous, like in Toronto? Randy, they were terrible in the D zone today. As simple as that. You know that, Randy. You're a sharp, smart individual, and I'm sure you're just throwing it out there to stir it up, which we appreciate. This text says, looked a lot like start of the year, very sloppy play today on the PK. PK, Cass, like we saw Mark Stewart get his hands on the PK after the coaching change, and they went from as low as like 27th or 28th at one point to middle of the pack. They crept up into the top 10. Going into today, they were 14th in the NHL on the PK. But it's like it's down, then it's up, then it's down, and now we're in a down cycle, obviously. That is concerning, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Well, for the penalty kill standpoint, of course. What is a solution? I mean, find consistency. Like we can say that, but it goes from being really sharp, winning faceoffs, clearing pucks, sticks in lanes, to whatever it was we saw tonight. So yeah, it's all over the place, and then that is something you want consistent. That at times has been incredibly inconsistent this season, because we saw it be horrible, and then we saw it be really, really good. Then we saw it be horrible, and we saw it be pretty good. And, we're kind of in that horrible zone again.
No, tonight was horrible. Sean says it's time for 73 to take a seat in the press box and play Stetcher. Thanks for the text, Sean. Okay, let's hear from head coach Chris Knobloch.
Digest that. What's your initial reaction after a game like that?
Disappointing that we didn't come up with 2 points. I thought we had a lot of good opportunities, especially we're up 3-1, and things were looking good, and we made a mistake, and 3-2, and now they're back in it when it looked like they're out of it. And then special teams, obviously that was a big part of this game.
What were your thoughts on the Vincent Desharnais call that led to the Drake Batherson goal?
I didn't see it. Let's just say that.
Hyman scores 50. The team got a pretty good jump on him. It looked like everybody was fairly happy for him.
It was. And, you get those milestones. You don't know how long you're going to be stuck on it. Snake bitten, and then, you don't get it for a couple games. That pressure builds up. But obviously, Zach didn't take him very long. He just move on, just continue scoring. And team feels so happy for him, to do a feat like that, especially at his point of his career. Everyone very proud of him.
When the group gives a reaction like that as an NHL head coach, what does that signify to you?
On the bench, I got goosebumps. I was so happy. It was nice to see a guy, a hard-working, honest guy, reach a milestone like that, and just how close the guys are and how happy they were for him.
All right, there's Chris Knobloch. Did not like the call on Vinny Desharnais, obviously. Desharnais did not like it. I'm pretty sure all of Oil Country didn't like it. The Oilers did get a makeup call shortly after in the game, and they did not kill off the penalty. They went 1 for 4 on the PK, and that's something that's going to need to improve, certainly with all the weapons that Winnipeg does possess, and they're going to be playing an angry Winnipeg team on Tuesday night, and Edmonton better play angry because of how poorly it performed in games in Toronto and Ottawa, so we'll see which team brings their A game and the mental sharpness. Cass, if you're the Oilers, how are you looking at Tuesday in Winnipeg, and how do you get this thing back on track here?
You got to look at this and say, if we play like that, if our D zone plays like that, if our penalty kill plays like that, we're going to get absolutely rolled by a team that's a really good team, contending team. So you want to talk about refining a barometer and measuring where you're at and taking a look at the rest of the few games remaining in the season and say, hey, this is a chance to test ourselves here. You're looking at Winnipeg. It's potentially a team that you could play against at some point in the playoffs. And they certainly are a team that is pretty good. So, Tommy, it's full reset, triple flush, quadruple flush, whatever you have to do. Get the bubbles things, like throw the bubbles in there, let it sit, scrub it out, flush it again, and then go back to work. Like you got to find a way to reset. And I think as we had a few people point out in both the text line and the nasty chat, Tommy, got to find a way to play a complete game. That's got to be the focus.
Yep. We'll see if Edmonton can do that because it's going to be a feisty Winnipeg team that dropped its last 3 as well. Did not have a good road trip through the New York area. Winds it up in Washington today with a 3-0 loss. Cass, great stuff as always, my friend. I'll catch up with you on Thursday. You're away on Tuesday, right?
Absolutely, yep. And I'll be back at it on Thursday.
All right, my friend. Looking forward to it. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
That is Matt Kassian, our game analyst, breaking down the Oilers' 5-3 loss at the hands of the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, you're shaking your head going, really? Not good tonight. Terrible defensive zone. We'll reiterate that. I will say, too, portions of this hour brought to you by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Catch Dusty with Uke and McCord every weekday morning, and then tune in to Jess Jackson on your way home from work every weekday afternoon. Absolutely love that crew, and so happy to be partnering up with them over at 100.3 The Bear, our dear friends who we spent a lot of time with back at our old shop. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. I want to get to this one from RJ. RJ says, the most frustrating thing about this team is that they go through stretches where they just forget how to play defense. I wish the coach would call them out for this. I like how they played garbage defensively yesterday, and he said it wasn't that bad. What the hell? RJ, agreed. Now, on the coach saying it wasn't that bad, sometimes they'll say something publicly, but internally they're ripping them a new one. Today you heard Knobloch say, I didn't see that penalty by Desharnais. This guy doesn't miss anything. He knows. But valid point. This text says, Winnipeg and LA next could be a very bad week if they don't wake up. Yes, wholeheartedly agree. Another text, Buzz in Nebraska says, dare we ask where Stetcher is? 11-7. Stetcher, yep, if he goes back in for Desharnais, maybe CC, whatever, okay, I'm cool with that. The 11-7, I mean, to me, I don't care if they roll 11-7 or 12-6, but sounds like Chris Knobloch is not a 11-7 kind of guy. And then when we got used to 11-7 collectively during the Jay Woodcroft years, it was more due to circumstance. And then they got on a bit of a roll with it, and it was working well, and they used it a bit more. And then towards the end of the tenure of Jay Woodcroft, they were predominantly 12-6. Neil in the hat says, looks like the Oilers are looking to finish the season like they started it. Neil in the hat with that one. Let's hope not. Neil in the hat. This one from Reno says, I just got a curbside alert that they will be picking up the trash tomorrow. Could probably put half the team in that bin and have them taken out. They need to wake up, play every game like it's their last. I'd like to see some desperation, Reno, indeed. And then this one says, now that Hyman got his 50th, maybe they can start playing to win games again. Yeah, good point. All right. Let's get to some business. We got to take care of this one. It is the big save of the game presented by Christopher Boyle. Business owner, tax saver, Chris Boyle strategically works with both businesses and families with strategic planning and risk management like a goalie protecting the net, shielding your paycheck from unforeseen events like illness or hospitalization, and ensuring your family's financial stability in the face of unexpected circumstances. Scan the QR code bottom right of your screen if you're watching to enter to win and get a chance to go to a playoff game because he's got some tickets up for grabs if you scan that QR code and enter. And if you're listening, which most people generally are, you can visit christopherboyle.net/postgame show to enter for a chance to win playoff tickets. All right, Trev, big save of the game presented by Chris Boyle. What do you got?
Well, for the second day in a row, I guess, second game and second day, it will not be awarded to an Oiler.
Rightly so.
Yeah, so that's just want to make that very clear. But Jonas Korpisalo, he came up with a pretty clutch save. It was actually a really, really nice save. It made it onto NHL.com or their Twitter.
So it's good.
Yeah, it was a highlight reel save. Derek Ryan sets up Connor Brown, nice cross crease. And just a vintage cross crease save. It was very satisfying, but not once. Connor Brown went in there, and it was a double save. So we got two and one kind of. So it was an unbelievable save, and it was not an Oiler, unfortunately. But you got to give credit where credit's due. And Korpisalo, he's kind of haunted the Oilers at times. Not so much in last year's playoffs, but he has looked good against the Oilers. And I guess tonight that was on full display, especially for that save. So Jonas Korpisalo gets the big save of the game.
And listen, he made triple the amount of saves Pickard did tonight. More to pick through.
A lot more. Way more.
Up. And that was a great save. Great two saves.
It was easily the best save of the night.
By Jonas Korpisalo. All right, that was the big save of the game, brought to you by Chris Boyle. And one last time to scan that QR code to enter to win playoff tickets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And if you didn't scan the QR code, you can always visit ChristopherBoyle.net/postgameshow. All right, let's get to some more text. Stay up there, Trev, because we do need to get to player of the game as well coming up shortly. Let's go around the National Hockey League. 10 games on the schedule, more text. Then we'll get to player of the game, and we will call it a night. What was supposed to be a pleasant Sunday, Trev, not so much. Sucks. Say that again.
It sucks.
Sucks.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Spoiled it. All right, here's your out-of-town scores. Busy Sunday in the National Hockey League, following a busy Saturday in the NHL. 3-0 Washington over Winnipeg. Edmonton plays Winnipeg Tuesday night, 6 o'clock face-off, 4:30 p.m. pregame show. Tune in for that one. We'll see which team, which has dropped its last couple, Winnipeg 3 in a row, Edmonton 2 in a row, wakes up on Tuesday. Colorado 5-4 over Pittsburgh at Ball Arena, that one in OT. The Devils beat the Islanders 4-0 on the island. Carolina 2-1 winners over the Leafs in Raleigh. And then you've got the Panthers 4-1 over Philly, that one in the city of brotherly love. Arizona falls 2-1, or part of me is losing 2-1 late in the second period at Mullet Arena. Anaheim up actually, 1-0 on Tampa early in the second, 4 minutes into the middle frame there. Calgary already down 1-0 late in the first to Buffalo. And then you've got the Habs up 3-0 late in the first in Seattle over the Kraken. All right, that was your out-of-town scores. Let's go to Road Dog. Trev says, Tommy, paid escorts put up a better defense than the Oilers PK. Bad calls by the officials, but not being able to kill them for your guys cost them the game. Roland says, good job, guys, for calling it how it is. Roland, thank you. Appreciate that. This one says, hey, it's me, the Slayful Queen. Shout out to Hyman getting 50 goals this season. I am a big fan. That is the first time the Slayful Queen has texted in. Crown emoji beside her name. That's how it'll go into our database. I like it.
I like it too.
Very good.
I was actually wondering about that. For people that may not know, how do you get the name that comes into?
They put it in there.
They do it themselves?
Well, I put it in. You don't know how to save their names in here?
No, because I was looking at mine. I was looking at mine the other day, and mine still isn't saved. I'm like, dang it. So I was just curious about that, but maybe we can put my name.
Easy.
Okay, I was curious about that. I'm like,
you
are they doing this?
I don't know how to do it.
I know.
So I'll show you. It's super easy. Andy Pandy texting it says, Tommy, the Oilers have a very good side, but we are simply not even close to bringing home a cup with this back six. Compare us to others in the West. We aren't scaring anyone. The Avs, Canucks, Jets, Vegas, etc. will be licking their lips thinking of play against Edmonton's rear guard. Stetcher will draw back in. Vinny is such a good story, but he's really getting exposed against high skill. Doesn't look good. Are we really heading into the playoffs having to outscore our problems yet again? That's from Andy Pandy. The not scaring anyone, I think that is a made in Edmonton rhetoric, because anytime you talk to people from other markets, especially other media, they look at Edmonton, they go, oh boy. Like, and it's not like a blowing smoke up your, it's legit. They look at the Oilers and go, that is scary. So I believe that the we aren't scaring anyone mindset is something that comes from this city. That's my take on it. Talking to people from other markets, to me, it's an Edmonton, made in Edmonton mindset. I do not think any team in the West is licking their lips ready to play the Oilers, thinking that's going to be easy because of the defense. Vinny is such a good story. Andy Pendy, yes, he is. He is getting exposed by high skill. Yeah, kind of, but I mean, he was getting exposed today by dumb plays that he made. That too. And we'll see if he can be better. I mean, you saw him cursing himself out, so he knows. Andy Penny, thanks for the text. Appreciate that. Cheers from Junior in Calgary, who says, gents, RNH hit 2 posts, the rest were junk, and at 3-3, Ottawa got the power play to win the game. They weren't that bad. Cheers. JR from Calgary, appreciate that positivity. That's nice. They were terrible in their own zone. I'll just say, terrible in their own zone. Other zones, just fine. Puck was on their string, on their sticks in the offensive zone, fine in the neutral zone, D zone, brutal. Andrew in London says, horrible penalty killing today. Unfortunately, overshadowed a solid game. They were all over Ottawa most of the game. Can't blame Pickard at all. On the bright side, former London Knights Corey Perry, Boosh, and Gags will be happy to know the Knights OHL regular season champions today. Go Knights, go. Andrew out of London, Ontario. All right, YouTube Trev, let's get to some more business here. We need to do it. It is the Damon Bunting Remax Elite Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent, top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian Remax realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Trev, take it away.
Thank you for that, Tommy. No real surprise here. Probably the only bright spot for tonight's game from an Oilers perspective. Zach Hyman, he got his 50th goal in this season, which is just a great story. Talking about great stories, there is no better story. Like, this is just, it's just unbelievable. You talk about elite company, and I was just looking this up. Over 7,000, like, I couldn't find the exact number, but over 7,000 players have ever played one game in the NHL dating back to 1917. And out of those 7,000 plus players, not even, it's less than 100 that
93 or 94.
Yeah, that they posted.
John Shannon was talking about it today.
And it's crazy that you can now include Zach Hyman as a 50-goal scorer. He's in the 50-goal club. That's what a cool story. That's definitely something. He's probably, it's going to take a while to really sink in, but just looking back at his, hopefully really good career that he has, which, he's having a really good career. It's just going to be something cool to look back on and be like, wow, I was a 50-goal scorer.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just unbelievable. He's been doing it. He's on pace for 83 points, which is exactly what he got last season as well. But obviously he didn't get 50 goals last year, which he did. And, it's still climbing, Tommy. Like, could he get 55, which would be, tie what Draisaitl got a few years ago, which is just insane. So, great story. 50 goals. Zach Hyman, it wasn't a lot to pick from tonight, but, I mean, he got his 50th of the season, so that's why I'm going for him as the player of the game. Good job, Zach.
Respect. And you could see him feeling the emotions of it when he got back to the bench, sat down, realized what he had accomplished. Very, very cool. Good for him. And he was great post-game despite how things ended up going for the team. Congratulations to Zach Hyman on 50 goals and counting, like Trev pointed out. Well-deserving of the Damon Bunting Player of the Game. I love it. Taco texting in again. Taco says, Tommy, I'll always cheer on the Oil, but I honestly don't think they did enough at the trade deadline to address some of the holes. Unfortunately, I do not think this is the year. I have greater hopes for next season. Taco. Ole. And the coach with this one. Before I go, dare I even go into the nasty chat again? You say yes? You love living
Absolutely.
dangerously.
I love it. I'm just looking at it right now. There's a lot of...
Is it feisty?
Oh, it's good right now.
Oh, baby. All right, here we go. Last text in the inbox. It's from the coach, not Coach Mike, but the coach. Says, Tom, not happy with the team's play this weekend. Not worried, but it is part of 82 games and the schedule. I am sure they rebound. Not thrilled with the Vander Kane comment on pregame. Calling someone cancerous is very harsh. Why judge character of an individual through your TV? This team will be okay. They have the leadership to win. That's from the coach. The coach, that was a text I believe you're referring to. Someone texted that in, and Cass and I talked about it. So for anybody that is saying that we called him that, no, that was someone from one of the texts that we read. And listen, maintenance day for Kane. No, him and Draisaitl yapping at each other on the bench did not look good. What you do hope for is that they can get past it, whatever it is that they're pissed off about, and that Kane can regain his form from earlier in the season and be a positive influence on the team, on the ice, be a good soldier in the locker room, and when everyone has the same common goal and can put things aside, that tends to lead to success. So the coach, thanks for the text. And just to clarify, we were reading a text earlier on the pregame show. Wasn't us saying it, but we were reacting to the text. That's for sure. All right, give me some nasty chat. What do you got? You're the one telling me that it was good stuff. What do you got?
Oh, well, okay. You put me on the spot here, Tommy.
We're having fun.
Wait, let's see. Nasty chat on crack tonight. Bring back Koskinen. I don't know about that.
Come on.
Where was I? Okay, I'm sorry, Tommy.
I'll read one here. Chad says, the Oilers have the best record in the NHL over the last 49 games or something, yet everyone is freaking out. Jody says, it's a what have you done for me lately league, Mike. What did Mike say? What did Mike say? Oh, it's getting feisty in there. Zedmo says, Pickard reminds him of Richard Bachman, positionally strong, tracks well. Jody also adds another long offseason approaching, I think. Lots of negativity in there today. That's for sure. Lots of negativity. It was a bad weekend for the Oilers. No points. Embarrassed themselves on Saturday night in Toronto. Have the game in hand. 2-goal lead. Blow it. Can't kill a penalty. Can't win a faceoff at a crucial time. Can't defend in front of your goalie. Hang him out to dry against an awful Ottawa team this year. Bad weekend. So the stink is real. The stink is real. Any text you want to get to? Look at you ducking out of that.
Man, well, you put me on the spot there, Tommy. How can Nuge and Kane go so cold at the same time? By Nate Hay 77. That's
Kane has 4 assists in his last month and a bit of work.
Does not look good.
No. Capable of much better.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Jeez, I don't know how you do this. Keep up with it sometimes.
It's hard.
It is hard.
But it's our plight, and we handle it. We do it well.
People saying Torts would put this team into shape. What are your thoughts on that, Tommy?
Don't even start with John Tortorella.
Connor McDavid would have been healthy scratched by now, I think.
Ooh, hot take. Save those for Thursday.
Yeah, I need them.
Hey, now. All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Street postgame show. The Oilers lose 5-3 to Ottawa in stunningly, magnificently bad defensive zone coverage. Brutal. VR Montenegro, we're going to end it with a positive. A night where Zach Hyman scores his 50th. VR Montenegro says, great work this weekend, Tommy and YTT. Well job. VR Montenegro, it was great to see you this weekend. And your lovely wife, Ginger. Big thank you to everyone who came out to the watch party yesterday, Hudson's White Avenue. We're on Bourbon Street on the 3rd of April. Come on down. Hang out. I've got GCs, a fresh batch coming in, and I hand them out evenly. Thank you very much. The Oilers lose 5-3 to Ottawa. We're back Tuesday night, 4:30 pregame show. Edmonton will look to wake up, stop playing bad in its own zone, stop playing bad in general when they take on the Winnipeg Jets, who have dropped their last 3 as well. For YouTube, Trev, and Matt Kassian, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. That was fun. See you tomorrow.